accompanied by the usual media crescendo, albeit without putting his words into action. Tesla's Elon Musk has been talking a lot about launching electric trucks and starting production of EVs in China. World's leading EV maker, the Renault-Nissan Alliance, again is way ahead of Tesla on both counts. Not only does the Alliance already have a few hard-working electrified commercial vehicles in its blue-collar portfolio, the Alliance also has firm plans to produce many of them in China. Ashwani Gupta, Alliance Senior Vice President of a recently created Renault-Nissan LCV Business Unit, told me. Earlier this week, the Alliance announced intentions of a light commercial vehicle, LCV, joint venture with China's Brilliance. With 268,485 light trucks and vans sold in 2016, Brilliance's Jinbei has a solid presence in that market. The joint venture will develop, manufacture and distribute new vehicles and services under both the Jinbei and Renault brands. The all-important conversion business will be handled by a Brilliance Group company which already turns mass-produced trucks and vans into campers, police vehicles, fire trucks, ambulances and so forth. Most of the LCV made under this JV are expected to come with electrified powertrains also. Electrification of our coming LCV lineup in China is a very clear objective, told me Gupta over the phone from Paris. After all, Renault is the only company in the world to have 4 LCV EVs in its product lineup. They range from the diminutive Twizy Cargo, an electric quadricycle with a small trunk, and the commercial Zoe, based on new all-electric Zoe, to the electric Kangoo Z and the electric Master Z van, which we will launch end of this year, Gupta said. Nissan also has an ENV200 electric van. Current products that are under the Jinbei brands, we will of course help electrify them, and those will remain under the Jinbei brands, said Gupta. When we launch a Renault LCV with gasoline in China, we would like to launch it as an EV also, and we will do all that's necessary to represent them as a Renault brand. The cautious disclaimer is necessary, because so far, Chinese rules prevented EVs made in joint ventures with foreign OEMs to be sold under a foreign brand. There is a Venucia E30 instead of a Nissan Leaf. An EV made in a Daimler BYD JV must be sold as a Denza. The EVs made under a recently forged Volkswagen Jack joint venture will be made and sold under a new brand and logo, wrote China's government-controlled Xinhua News Service. Should the rules not change, Renault would always be able to sell an electrified Kangoo or Master under the Jinbei brand. For Tesla, such an option would be unthinkable.
If you didn't already know, the highlight of the Goodwood Festival of Speed is to watch professional drivers drive as quickly as they can from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill. Behind the wheel, the right-hand wheel, mind you, of a Subaru WRX STI, I did this myself and managed to not kill myself or anybody else. Success. Full disclosure. I attended the 2017 Goodwood Festival of Speed as a guest of Subaru, who paid for my flight, put me up in a very nice hotel and fed me continuously. And also helicoptered me to and from the festival. The hill itself isn't hard to drive. It's 1.16 miles long with 9 turns, but no murderous hairpins or decreasing radius sections. There's one very fast S-bend along the wall, but all in all, it's pretty much a power circuit. Most of the cars exhibited at Goodwood do a run up the hill at least once. Sometimes it's for fun and for others it's timed. So far, the record for the fastest hill climb is 41.6 seconds, which was set by Nick Heidfeld in 1999, who was driving a McLaren Formula One car. As Subaru's guest, I was also invited to drive a WRX STI up the hill at a brisk, but not racing, speed during the Moving Motor Show, a Thursday event that allowed for potential buyers and filthy casuals like us to test road cars, according to the event email. Brisk, but not racing. I'd already made up my mind that since I would be in the UK, I was going to do it in a right-hand drive car, damn it. And as luck would have it, They only had one and I was quick to claim it. You snooze you lose, suckers. The car itself was an innocent enough deep blue. Its inside had the sweet scent of new car, but I wasn't fooled. Its odometer, reading 21,000 hard and rough autojournalist miles, betrayed how old it really was. This was a tired car. This car had seen some abuse. Well, it was about to see some more. I soon remembered, after I had strapped in and was waiting in line to proceed, that I had actually never driven a right-hand car before. This would be my first time. On a track I had never driven. At speed. In the rain. After about 3 hours of sleep. With hundreds of spectators watching. It's not too late to back out, the part of me that has kept me uninjured, and, frankly, quite boring, thus far whispered. But that part was wrong, it was indeed too late. The Ferrari 488 GTB and before me proceeded to show off by screaming through the start line with his launch control as soon as he was given the go. It felt very unnecessarily aggressive and also wildly in character. And then it was my turn. The marshal locked eyes with me and gave a wave. My heart took up a new residence at the top of my esophagus. Did he sense imminent doom? Can't think about that now. I rolled off the clutch and onto the gas. The car started to move. Yes. More gas, more gas, more gas. Time to shift. Shifter straight down into second with left hand, clutch out, gas on. Perfect. Picked up more speed now. Clutch in, left hand pulled the shifter up and to the right for a third. Clutch out again and back on the gas. No power. What? Fifth. Fuck. But then the first right-hander was coming up and I braked, tossing the car back into second, gassed at mid-corner and slingshotted out to burble down a straight, spirits soaring, inner monologue crowing, you're doing it, you're doing it. Until, up ahead, I spotted what appeared to be a tipped-over hay bale lying across the right portion of the track. What the I slowed way down, unsure if that meant I had to exit or just go around. Confusion on a track is both a horrible and humiliating thing. Impassively, the marshals lining the sides of the track watched, their faces yielding no hint or sympathy to my distress. A light bulb suddenly went off in my head. Oh, it's a chicane thing. To slow us noobs down. Edged the car past it, still unused to sitting on the wrong side, and carried on. The Subaru, I discovered to my chagrin, had been beaten on so furiously that it felt like the clutch had 2 engagement points. That, or the one just kept moving around. I was right about the abuse. I hate being right. A marshal flagged for me to stop after I completed our lap. Right, he said, leaning in the window, just to let you know, we've had reports of the brakes smelling very hot. Just so you know. Brakes? Oh, buddy, those weren't hot brakes that you smelled, that was the acrid aroma of burned clutch. Couldn't be helped. And then it was over. So quickly was it over. Too quickly. In retrospect, my lines were probably awful and I think it took me close to 2 minutes to complete the hill climb. The elite drivers in race cars usually do it in the 40-second range. However, I also wasn't stupid enough to try and prove how quickly I could do it and risk injuring someone. Or publicly wrecking. One of those is far worse than the other. Oddly, though, the weirdest part about the whole thing wasn't the hill climb, it was how quickly my body acclimated to a RHD car once I stopped thinking about it. Figuring out where the car ended while I was seated on the right took a little more practices after that. But still, us Americans drive on the correct side. Sorry.
1 p.m. Friday update. The Sparks Police Department is actively working the case, but the whereabouts of the suspect and child remain unknown, according to a news release. The suspect and child remain unidentified Friday afternoon. Police say the vehicle is still outstanding. The Nevada Highway Patrol did not have any updates or leads as of 1 p.m. Friday. Phone calls to the Sparks Police Department went unreturned Friday afternoon. However, the news release said the department will release more information as it becomes available. Original story. Sparks Police issued an Amber Alert on Thursday after a carjacking at the Nugget Casino Resort. At 2:17 p.m., police received a report that a 75-year-old woman parked her at the Nugget when she was approached by a man. According to a police report, he produced a handgun and demanded money and her car keys. The car is a maroon Nissan Altima with Nevada plate 92F424. She complied and noticed a child standing near the suspect. According to the police report, the suspect told the child to get into the car with him. He was last seen driving the Nissan north on Pyramid Highway. The suspect is a black man, 28 to 35 years old, 6 feet tall with a thin build and a thin mustache. He was wearing a dark blue shirt with the Dallas Cowboys emblem on the front, and blue jeans. The child is described as a black girl, about 8 years old, wearing a dark yellow dress and her hair in pigtails. The victim said the child appeared scared. The victim also told police she thought the child might have a relationship to the suspect, based on the interaction between them. Anyone with information as to the identity of the child, the suspect or their location is asked to immediately contact Sparks Police at 775-353-2231.